Alright, that's the top of the hour. So, let's get right on into it. Today, we are streaming Demon Bluff. Demon Bluff is a sort of single-player social deduction game. You will be presented with a village of cards, and each will give information in their own way. You have to determine who is telling the truth, who is lying, and who among them is evil. Most of the time, the ones who are lying will be evil, but not always. Now, this is just a demo. The game is not yet released, but it is in the works. Now, for the sake of the stream, I will start by showing this. I have reached Ascension 18, which essentially means I've won the game 18 times. Mech, hello. How you doing? Right, so, as I said, I have reached Ascension 18. I've won the game 18 times. Each time it does get harder. What I'm going to do is reset. Because this is just going to reset all of the cards that can show up. So it will give the stream a bit more of a proper introduction to the game. So let's just jump right in there. There is one evil among all characters. Find and kill it. So, oh, it's actually going to go through the tutorial. No, it's not. No, never mind. This is just whether I want to have the deck, which is the cards that can show up, pinned onto the screen. Which I do. So, I will go over a bit of the UI real quick. These 5 cards are the villages that are in the current village. Among them, there is one evil, as shown here. This is the first village of 7 for this ascension. And we have my score here as well. Getting things right gives me more score. We also have my health. If I kill an innocent character, or certain actions happen, I can lose health. If it goes to 0, the village resets, I get a new deck of cards, and I lose one of my hearts. Now, it's kind of weird that the tooltip says lose all 3 hearts and your current run is over, because you've got 4, so that's a kind of typo. We also have this weird eye, which it shows me the order that things have happened in, essentially. At the top, we have the display of what the deck, or rather what the village will have. So there are 4 villages, 0 outcasts, 1 minion, and 0 demons. I can click here to view what the deck, what the entire deck is. So we have a lover, who can tell me how many evil characters they are adjacent to, a gem crafter, who tells me 1 good character, a hunter, who can tell me how far away they are from the closest evil, if there are 2 evils an equal distance from them. So, for example, if number 3 is a hunter and both 4 and 2 were evil, the hunter would say equidistant, I believe is the term they use. Otherwise, if it was only 4, they would say clockwise. If only 2... Wait, no, hang on. How far? Okay. Right, okay. So I believe even if... I was thinking of a different character there. I actually don't know if he says equidistant if there's 2 that are at 1. I don't think so. I think if if number 3 is the hunter and number 4 or 2 was evil, or both, they would say 1. I was thinking of a different character, the Enlightened. This is the one I was thinking of. It tells me which direction around the circle the closest evil is, or equidistant if it's the same. And then we have the minion. They lie, they disguise. We also have this button here. I use this to kill a character if I believe they are the demon or minion, or just evil in general. So, we can click on a character and reveal them. We have revealed the hunter. The hunter says, I am 1 card away from the closest evil. So, if we hover over them, we get these nice little purple arrows to highlight that. They are saying either number 5 or number 2 is evil. That is, if they aren't the minion. So, what I've got now is one of these 3 is guaranteed to be the minion. So these 2 are guaranteed good. Let's see if they can give me any information. The Enlightened tells me the closest evil is counterclockwise, as shown by the purple arrow. Unfortunately, that narrows it down to these 2. So, if it was number 5, then that would be a clockwise direction. But since it's counterclockwise, it's either to 2 or to 1. So one of these 2 is the minion now. If we check number 4, they are 2 cards away from the closest evil. So, unfortunately, that is still both pointing to 1 and 2. But no. Okay, I was going to say that we could potentially narrow it down, but what we would essentially say, I can mark that these 2 are green because they are telling the truth. You will also be green. Now, if it's you're telling a lie, which means it's actually 0 away, which works. If it's you're telling the truth, which works. So we've got nothing narrowed down yet. We have the gem... God damn it. The gem crafter, who says number 4 is good. Doesn't really help us here. Let's see what number 2 says. They say they are adjacent to 1 evil. Which, if the hunter is evil, that means that's true and that works. If the hunter is good, this is a lie, which means that they're evil. So it's literally a 50-50 toss-up right now. These 2 are just pointing fingers at each other, and everyone else is pointing fingers at these 2. 50-50 worked in my favour. So, even if I'd gotten it wrong, I would have taken some health damage, and that would have recovered once I killed the minion and ended this village, so that was fun. And we have, by completing that village, unlocked new characters. The medium, who can tell me a good character and its role, and the judge. I pick one character on activating the judge and learn if that character is lying. So, there's still only 1 evil, so let's start with number 1. Number 1 says number 1 is a real medium. So, here's the thing. If they are evil, they would be lying. Evils never tell the truth. Ginger, hello, how are you doing? So, if they were evil, they would be lying. Which would mean... Oh my god, what the hell? Okay. If they're evil, then they are not a real medium, which means this is a lie, which means it checks out. If they are a medium, it means they are a medium, and this is true, and it checks out. So I can't learn anything from this. I literally learned nothing from this person. Cool. Hey Judge, are they lying? Judge says they're lying. Judge could be lying. Okay, now we get something useful. This medium says number 2 is a real judge. We only have one evil right now. So they can't both be evil backing each other up, which means number 1 is lying. And I get bonus points for having 3 that weren't revealed yet. Only an extra 30 points. More new characters! We have the Wretch. They register as an evil minion to other characters. So, other characters who point at the Wretch, or say anything really, can be saying... Yeah, also the Empress, yes. Any characters who point at the Wretch, or just point anywhere in general, could be pointing at the Wretch. Because they'll think they're evil. Also the Empress. On flipping them, they will point at 3 different characters, potentially including themselves, and one of them is evil. So, the Enlightened says the closest evil is clockwise. Either you're evil or one of these 3 is evil then. So let's go this way because they're guaranteed good. The Empress. 4, 6, or 5 is evil. That's literally just... hang on. Okay, these 2 are good. Right? So we've got these 3 are all good. Because of you. You are saying they're evil. But they're not a wretch. They could have been a wretch. What if someone is lying? If they're lying, they're evil. For now. Huh. Yeah, for now, only evil people lie. I'm a fucking idiot. All liars are evil, yes. Huh? Oh my god, I'm a fucking idiot. There's the Wretch. You were pointing at the Wretch. You're evil. Possibly. You may be evil, or one of these 2 may be evil. Feck. Okay. You are telling the truth, because you believe you are one away from evil. You are real. We have exactly 1 outcast in the village, which this yellow border indicates, so there is the 1. They're real. You believe one of them, believe that one is evil, so you're telling the truth. You're not making... Well, no, you are making things a bit difficult, Ginger. Essentially, if they're lying at the stage we're at right now, that is. If they're lying, they're evil. If they're evil, they're lying. It is a 1-to-1 correlation for now. Now, lying doesn't necessarily mean... Well, having the wrong information doesn't necessarily mean that they are lying. Because this hunter is saying the Wretch is the evil one space away. They're telling the truth, they're just wrong because of the Wretch. So, Number 7 is good. That's guaranteed true. I have a feeling you're going to be right, Ginger. Number 2 is a real gem crafter. That's true. Here's a thing, though. Oh, no, never mind. Closest evil is clockwise. They're pointing at the wretch. So, as you said, Ginger, it's only there. I don't know how I put that exclamation. 5. Cool. We now have the twin minion, who lies and disguises. Exact same as the minion, it's just the second one. And we have the jester. We pick 3 characters and learn how many of them are evil. So, we have the lover, who says one of the 2 adjacent characters is evil. The wretch. And a gem crafter. So, now that we've got 2 evils, things can get a little bit more complicated. The lover thinks the wretch is evil. So if the gem crafter is good, the lover is good. If the lover is good, the gem crafter is good. If the lover is evil, they're lying. And that could be a 2. Like, if they're actually adjacent to 2 that they should say is evil, then they can say 1. And that could be the other evil there. But now's where we get into real fun times. Number 8 is saying number 5 is good. Number 1 is saying number 8 is good. We can only have 2 evils right now. So we've got evils 0 of 2. So, hey Mel, welcome, welcome. So, you're saying you're good and you're saying you're good. They can't all, they can't both be lying. And if either of them is telling the truth, then both of them are telling the truth. I hope that makes sense. I probably said it a bit weirdly. Number 2, the wretch. Everyone believes you're evil, Ginger, but really, you just want to hang out and do your thing. Anyway, so we've got this weird kind of combo where these 2 are backing up each, well, you're backing up you, you're backing up you, and that forms a chain of 3. With only 2 evils, a chain of 3 guaranteeing each other, essentially, must all be good. You're now saying the closest evil is clockwise. One of these 2 is evil then. Let's see what other information we can find. Number 3 is the judge. And number 4 is the hunter, saying that they're the hunter saying they are 1 away from the closest evil. Now, here's the thing. These 3 are all good. So you're saying the judge is evil. If it was 3 and 7, then you would be saying equidistant. If it was 4 and 6, you would be saying equidistant. If it was 4 and 7, you would be saying counterclockwise. There's never a case where it's 4. Which means this judge is evil. And because it's not saying equidistant on this enlightened, then it can't be 3 and 7, so it's 6. Hell yeah. We didn't even have to look at these 2. It was a confessor. They haven't told us about the confessor yet, but I love them. If the Confessor is either evil or corrupted is a mechanic we'll learn later on, then they will say, I am dizzy. Otherwise, they will say they are good. They make things so much easier. You did indeed get it right, Ginger. Okay, we now have the Bombardier. If I execute the Bombardier, and they are actually the Bombardier, I lose. This is indeed like Werewolf, son. It is, yes, it is single-player kind of Werewolf. I hope you're doing well. We also have the Knight. If I try to execute the Knight, and they are actually the Knight, they don't die. Evil characters can disguise as these two. So, if an evil disguises as the Knight, and I try to kill them, they die. If an evil disguises as the Bombardier, and I kill them, I don't lose. It's only if they are actually these characters. You just woke up. I hope you slept well. Okay, let's see how this round goes. We have a Confessor saying they are good. They're guaranteed good. We have a Gem Crafter who says number 8 is good. Could be good. Could both be evil. Number 8 is an Empress who says 6, 4, or 7 is evil. One of them. Of course, if this Empress is evil, all 3 of them are good. You keep getting distracted from banning someone on Discord. That's... Is that something to get distracted from, Ginger? Like, it only takes a few seconds, right? Okay. I keep getting distracted from the game and losing track of where I am. So, if the Empress and the Gem Crafter are evil, so they're guaranteed both on the same alignment. That's essentially how the Gem Crafter works. Because if the Gem Crafter is evil, the Empress must be evil. Because Gem Crafter can't be lying if they're good. And, yeah. If the Gem Crafter is good, then it must be true that number 8 is good. So they're on the same alignment. 8, the Empress, is now saying 6, 4, and 7 have one evil among them. That is a hell of a name, Ginger. Yeah, I guess they chose a name specifically to make it annoying to ban them. Okay. So, 4, 6, or 7, one is evil, or none are evil, and the Empress is evil. If one of them is evil, that would mean 5 and 3 are have one evil. I'm going to forsake the score for a bit and just reveal everyone. Okay. Fuck. Here's a fun thing. We have 2 Bombardiers in play right now. This counter in the top right, the one under the wing, means that there is one outcast. Bombardiers, with their yellow border, are outcasts. One of these Bombardiers is fake. So I'm just going to put an exclamation mark on them. One of them is fake. If I execute the wrong one, I lose. Now, this hunter, number 5, is saying that there's an evil in number 3 or number 7 or both. So, oh, I hate this. I hate this. Let's say if the hunter is good. If the hunter is good, then we've got number 3. They're going to be the evil. Use both judges on the same bombardier. Here's the problem with that, Ginger. Judges only tell me if people are lying. But you do have the right point. Because there's one evil bombardier, there is only going to be a maximum of one evil judge. So, if I use both of them on this hunter, I'm a fucking idiot. I'm a fucking idiot. One of the judges is evil. So they're just both going to tell me different things. So here's what we've got right now. Either this hunter and this bombardier are evil. Okay, no. One of the bombardiers has to be evil. One of the judges has to be evil. That means the hunter has to be good. Which means an evil is 2 spaces away from them. And that's the closest evil. Which means it can't be these 2. And it's 3 and 7. Okay. It took a little bit of thinking. I'm glad I reset my progress in this game. Ascension 17 would have been hell to try and stream. We have now unlocked the Witch and the Scout. The Witch is a minion. You can tell that they're a minion because their name is orange. If they were a demon, their name would be red. So the Witch is a minion who prevents me from revealing the last card. I can reveal everyone except for one in the village until the Witch is dead. Once the Witch is dead, I can reveal that last card. The Witch lies and disguises, as is standard with all evils. The Scout tells me how far a specific evil is from another closest evil. This took me a long time to understand. What if the Witch is the last card? Then you've got to work it out without revealing that last card. Mel the Witch and Ginger the Wretch. Okay. The Scout is kind of weird. I will explain it properly once we have actually got one in play. Confessor saying they're good. They're guaranteed good. The Wretch. The Hunter. Saying that they are 4 cards away from the closest evil. When the Wretch is right here. This Hunter's evil. And it's the Witch, so I can now reveal everyone. Yeah. The Hunter would not ignore the Wretch. Let's keep going. Gemcrafter saying number 8 is good. So number 4 and 8 are of the same alignment. There is only one evil, so they are guaranteed good. Number 8 is a judge. Closest evil is clockwise. Yeah, well it's one of you 3, so it's guaranteed to be that. A jester. And a scout. Okay. Scout is saying the minion is 2 cards away from the closest evil. So, wherever the minion is. So let's say this had been the minion instead of the Witch. the closest evil from the witch is 2 cards away, or from the minion is 2 cards away. So one of these two would then be evil, based on what the scout is saying. It's kind of weird. Initially, I thought... that what this was saying was the closest evil from the scout was then 2 cards away from the minion. I thought that was what that would have meant originally. So, like, if the closest evil to the scout was 1 space away, then the minion would be 2 spaces away from that evil. I thought that was the sort of information it was giving. But no. The minion is 2 spaces away from the evil that is closest to the minion. So long as the scout is telling the truth, 5 or 1 is evil. 1 can't be 5. What does the judge say? Judge says the scout is telling the truth. That was the right call, Mel, because we now know number 5 is evil. And we didn't even use the jester. Let's use the jester just for fun. We can't, because I've already won. We'll use the jester another time. The first demon to unlock. So this demon, Bar, adds 1 fake outcast to the deck view. They also lie in disguise. Now, that means when I bring this screen up, so Bar is adding 1 extra outcast to this screen. So either the Bombardier or the Wretch isn't actually an option to show up. I believe evil can still disguise as them. You thought Bar was named Bra. Bra. Totally tubular, brah. We have a lover, saying that either 2 or 8 is evil. We have an enlightened, saying the closest evil is counterclockwise. Could be number 8 if there's no evil in here. The medium, saying number 6 is a real knight. I can't kill them. So, they are a real knight, which means you are telling the truth. Number 4 is a jester. I'm going to just reveal a lot of things. You're saying there's 1 evil. Okay. Well, the knight has to be good, so you're claiming that the jester is evil, functionally. We have the Wretch. And we have the Empress. Okay. Now I have to actually start thinking. The Empress says 1 is evil among 2, 3, and 4. That could be... That could be a lie. Now, if... I'm going to just use orange for this marking. There is guaranteed 1 outcast, so that Wretch is real. If the Empress is telling a lie, then there are no evils among these 3. Which would mean the Empress is evil, and you're then getting the correct ping on 1 evil because you would be good, which means that 1 is evil, which would be correct because you'd both be good and you'd be lying. So it works if the Empress is evil. Does it work if the Empress is good? Well, either 2 or 4 would be evil. 2 would be evil then, because this lover is saying that you're good. Or this lover is saying one of these two is evil, and if they're good, then it has to be them. Or this lover is evil, and neither of them are evil. So... that, if this lover is evil, that works with this enlightened. Oh. That is a... okay, that is a good... adjacent equals across from. No. Adjacent is specifically these two. So, like, from this lover, these two are adjacent. If I hover over them, you'll see purple arrows. So, yeah. This is adjacent. What you were saying would be opposite. I don't think I've ever seen any characters use the term opposite. Because there can be, like, a 5 thing, and there is no real opposite. I think Ginger is on point here. Amy, hello, how are you doing? Yeah, I think Ginger may be on point here. If 8 is good, then 2 and 4 would be evil, which would mean she's lying because it wouldn't be 1 evil, which would break things. Is that the case, though? 1 of 2, 3, and 4. That isn't the case, unfortunately, Ginger. We could have 1 and 4 be evil. This enlightened would then be pinging off of this lover, and this lover would be pinging off of this jester. So, currently we are going to need to learn some more. Specifically, is this jester evil? And I have a real stupid way of proving this. We have 2 that are confirmed good, and a wretch, who is confirmed to be a wretch. If I pick the 2 that are confirmed to be good, and the wretch, this jester should say there is 1 evil. Among 3, 6, and 7, there is 1 evil. This jester is telling the truth. Which means you are lying. And now, it is either 2 or 1. Okay. Well... or... 8. Hang on. If all 3 of them are good, then you're lying and you would be pinging on them before them. In fact, if you're not evil, then that's true. We may be in a bit of a deadlock here. If either of them is evil, then that's true. So if you're not evil, you're if you're good, you're telling the truth. If you're... all of them are in a state where if they are good, they are telling the truth. And if they are bad, they are lying. Rather... well, okay, I'm wording it poorly. All of them are in a state where everything works, regardless of whether they are telling the truth or lying. So, down with the monarchy. Oh, hey! If 1 was evil, 8... That's true, Ginger! I didn't pick up on that. I would have felt like such a goddamn idiot if I picked number 1. But random chance played out in my favour. And with that, we have cleared Village 7 out of 7. New characters are unlocked. We have unlocked the Slayer. I can pick one character. If they are evil, the Slayer will execute them. And the Knitter. They tell me how many evils are adjacent to each other. If we have a chain of 3 evils adjacent to each other, they would say that there are 2 pairs. If there are 2 evils adjacent to each other and one elsewhere, then they would say there is 1 pair. If an evil disguises as the Slayer, by the way, they do not kill. Like, no matter what, an evil disguised as the Slayer never kills. Now then, because we have cleared all 7 villages, almost called them dungeons there. Because we've cleared all 7 villages, we have completed the Ascension, and the Ascension level has increased. Meaning, the difficulty rises. Now, there is 1 evil among all characters, find and kill it. The difficulty isn't going to spike super hard, but we do now, in the first village, have an outcast, which we didn't before, and a witch instead of a regular minion. Now then, we have a scout who is saying there is only 1 evil. That's fucking true. It's objectively true, there is only 1 evil. So the scout is telling the truth. Reveal 1, 3, and 5. Sure, Mel. 1, 3, 5. Number 3 is an Empress saying 1, 5, or 6 is evil. So you're claiming one of these 3 is evil. Well, we know the scout is good, so you're claiming one of these 2 is evil. Let's have a look at number 6. A hunter, who claims to be 3 away from the closest evil. So you're now pointing at them. So, I think we don't actually need to reveal 2 and 4, because if you're telling the truth, one of these 2 is evil, which means if you were then telling the truth as well, that would be wrong, so you'd be lying, which means you'd be evil. So, if we use Judge, number 6 is lying. There we go. One of those 2 had to be lying, and the Judge was able to tell us which one it was. These are the sorts of easy decisions we can get when there is only 1 evil. And when there's no poisoner. Fuck. The poisoner. At the start of the game, 1 adjacent villager is corrupted, if possible. They lie, they disguise. Corrupted. Corrupted characters lie and their ability doesn't work. They keep their alignment. So, this means we're going to have villagers start lying to us, while still being good villagers. We also have the Bard. The Bard tells me how far they are from the closest corrupted character. So, we've got 2 evils, the Poisoner and the Minion. Now, it is possible that the Poisoner winds up between the Wretch and the Minion, in which case they are adjacent to no villagers, and they cannot corrupt anyone. This can happen. I've seen it happen. I mean, Yeah, Ginger, yeah. Yeah. No, Mel, I did not respond to getting babies from a dragon. We have the judge. We have a hunter, who is claiming that they are 3 cards away from the nearest evil, which would be one of these two. If they're telling the truth, either both of these two or number 6 and one of these two is evil. Number 3 is a bard, claiming that they are 1 space away from a corrupted character. Okay, so if the bard is telling the truth, then one of these two would be the poisoner. If, in both cases, the hunter's words are valid. Because if this is the poisoner, to have corrupted number 4, then they're 3 spaces away from the hunter. If this is the poisoner, then number 2 is corrupted and is lying, but still good. So, yeah. Fun. Number 4 claims there is 1 evil adjacent to them. Honestly, we are technically in a state right now where both number 2 and 3 could be evil. Number 5, a knight. I can't kill them. Okay, they're good and not corrupted. If, here's a fucked thing, if the poisoner was, let's say position 6 was the poisoner, and they chose to corrupt the knight, I would have been able to kill the knight right there. And the knight would have just died and said, corrupted. It would have just changed this to say, knight, corrupted. And I would have lost health. Anyway, the knight is guaranteed good. We can start deducing some things now. The knight is guaranteed good, which means this lover is either lying or you're evil. I think the bard may be the poisoner and has poisoned the hunter. Fuck. Can it be true? Oh, that's a good point, Ginger. The bard cannot be the poisoner. Because if they were the poisoner, they would be lying and saying a number other than 1. That's a good catch, Ginger. You are very good at this. Yeah, we will see what everyone else is, Mel, I think. So, if they're the poisoner, then they break, so they're not the poisoner. They could be the minion, and the judge could be the poisoner. In which case, this lover is telling the truth, this judge is lying by saying that they're lying. So we could have both the bard and judge be evil. We cannot have both 3 and 4 be evil. Because the bard cannot be the poisoner. Which would force the lover to be the poisoner, which would force them to poison the knight. And the judge is poisoning the hunter, yeah. So we cannot have both 3 and 4. Now, let's get a bit more information. We have a jester, we have a gem crafter who is saying number 5 is good. That's forced to be true. And we have a wretch. The hunter is definitely lying, because that would be 2 if they were telling the truth. Also, one of these 2 would have to be lying. So you're lying, but you may be corrupted. Like, the hunter has to be lying, but they may not be evil. Because if the judge is the poisoner, then they will have poisoned the hunter. Can it ever be the jester? If the jester is... I don't think it can ever be the jester. Because if the jester is... Well, they can't be the poisoner, because these 2 are... Like, the hunter's ability, the knight's ability, sorry, has worked, and the gemcrafter said that they're good, which is true. So these 2 aren't corrupted, so this can't be the poisoner. There would then, that would then be the min. One of these... Either the judge is the poisoner or the hunter is evil. Or both. Which, if it was both, the lover would break. So... Either... yeah, so the jester can never be evil. Because if they were, then the judge has to be evil, which means you're lying wrongly. So jester is guaranteed good. Okay, let's see. We've got a couple of opinions on who to use the jester on. 5, 7, and 4, which tells us for sure whether number 4 is telling the truth, because 5 and 7 have to be good. Jester would then say 1 if the lover is evil, or 0 if the lover is good. If we do 8, 3, and 5, then it's a similar thing with the bard, where it would either say 1 if the bard is good, or 2 if the bard is evil. Or if we do 1, 3, 5, that one would be also problems. 2 of these 4 are evil. We're guaranteed to have 1 outcast. Took a bit to... yeah. Congratulations, mech. That is the first difficult boss. The first properly difficult boss. The ones before that did have their difficult things. For those who don't know, Mech is currently playing Silksong. And they've just beaten an actual difficult, super difficult boss. I say super difficult, that's honestly a personal thing. Like, from person to person, you'll find different bosses are different difficulties. Anyway, 1 is evil. Which means the bard is corrupted. So they're lying. They're saying that they're 1 away from a corrupted character, but actually they are the corrupted character. And the hunter is evil. Oh. God. I'm getting so distracted by everything. I'm glad Ginger is here, because I'm just, like, I'm just getting carried. I will say, I have made it to Ascension 17 on my own. I even showed that at the start of this stream before I reset my save. I believe it was 17, it was something like that. So I'm not an idiot. But Ginger is very good at this and I'm getting distracted, so I am just going to be very dependent. We have now unlocked the Fortune Teller, who can pick 2 characters and learn if any of them is evil. And the Oracle, who can learn 1 out of 2 characters is a specific minion role. So, right now we have Poisoner and Minion in play. So the Oracle may say, out of number 1 and number 2, 1 is the Poisoner. Lock in and lock on. It's all good. Even if we lose, it doesn't really matter. Have you made it to Ascension 17 while on stream? Hell no! On stream, I can probably make it to Ascension like 4. Ascensions don't reset if you run out of lives, by the way. So, like, technically you can make it as far as you want through brute force. Currently an idiot non-derogatory. Maybe that's just himbo mode. Hell yeah, himbo mode. Okay. We have a jester, a judge, a confessor saying they're good, guaranteed to be true, a hunter saying they're 3 spaces away from the nearest evil, a knitter saying the evils are not adjacent to each other, a medium saying number 3 is a real confessor, guaranteed to be true, a knitter saying there is 1 pair of evils. These 2 are contradicting each other. One of them is lying. Possibly evil, possibly poisoned. And a bombardier. Guaranteed to have 1 outcast. It's them. So, here's the thing. This one cannot possibly be corrupted. Because this guy's good, you cannot be corrupted. So either there is 1 pair of evils, or you're evil. Now, if you're evil, one of these 2 could be evil, and you could be corrupted. Ask the judge. We shall ask the judge and the jester for their inputs. But I think the first thing I'm going to do... Jester, guaranteed goods, and this knitter. There are 3 evils? Well, that's a lie. They could be corrupted, though, if this judge is the poisoner. But... if they're corrupted and this judge is the poisoner, then one of these 2 has to be evil, and this guy has to... is lying then, because that's true. Which means the jester cannot be corrupted. The jester is the poisoner, which means you are corrupted. Or evil. But if you're evil, you can't be corrupted. Which means... Okay, here's the thing. The judge says they are lying. The judge is corrupted, so they're lying. Which means you're telling the truth. Which means you're evil. Because the only way for this to be true is for you to be evil as well. Oh, God. Corruption can make things... Oh my fucking god, okay, fine. Corruption makes things suck. And now it's going to be even worse. The Plague Doctor. One good villager is corrupted. Can be a good villager anywhere. Specifically villager, so not outcast or evil. Specifically villager, purple border. So one villager is corrupted. The Plague Doctor gets to choose a character. If they choose a corrupted character, they will learn one evil character. So if, for example, I use a Plague Doctor to choose number 2 and number 2 is corrupted, the Plague Doctor will say, for example, number 6 is evil, number 2 is corrupted. So then I can go and kill number 6 and they're evil. The Alchemist has a range of 2, so the characters that are adjacent to them and adjacent to those 2. And they cure corruptions. They tell me how many they cured. Thank fuck we don't have the Poisoner. So we will only have one corrupted character. The Alchemist can cure the Plague Doctor's victim, yes. Or the Alchemist can be corrupted and cure nobody and say they cured 2. Or 1, or whatever they want. The medium says number 4 is a real Empress. Number 4 is an Empress. These 2 could both be evil and lying to shit. Except... with what this Empress is saying. 1, 2, or 7, 1 is evil. One of them is evil. If this Empress was evil, that would be forcing this medium to lie. The medium could be corrupted, so it doesn't really matter. You're dizzy, you could be corrupted. The Witch. Plague Doctor is guaranteed real. Bard is claiming they're one space away from a corrupted character. Which means either the Bard is evil, corrupted, or the Hunter is corrupted. You told me to save 5 for last. Nah. Turns out number 5 was the most important character, Mel. Because this Plague Doctor may do some real fucking work here. Right. So here's what I can do. I can use the Plague Doctor on the Confessor. If they say that the Confessor is corrupted, then they're corrupted and they'll tell me who an evil is. If they say the Confessor isn't corrupted, then the Confessor is evil. Alternately. Okay. It could be the Bard is corrupted. Could the Bard be corrupted? If anyone other than the medium is corrupted, then the Empress is guaranteed good, as is the medium. Because the Empress and medium are both pointing fingers at each other. So, like the Empress saying, the Empress including 1, 2, and 7 as one evil, like there's one evil among them. if these two were both evil, that would be functional, but this would not. Which means they can't both be evil. The medium could be corrupted, but not evil. And then... Is there anything... Like... What are you basing this on now? Why do you think the bard is evil? Let's see. Because if the bard is evil, that would mean the hunter has to be corrupted. Because if they're not, then they're also evil, actually. You think the confessor is corrupted. Let's find out. Number 2 is not corrupted. Well, that's that. We now have... Okay, here's the thing. The hunter is either corrupted or evil, because this medium is good no matter what. They could be corrupted and the Empress could be evil. Hang on. If the Empress is evil, then there is exactly one evil in there, which means the Empress is telling the truth. Or corrupted. The Empress is good, which means this medium is good. The Empress is good. If the hunter is evil, then they're corrupted. This is why I hate corruption. Oh, that's a good point, son. If the hunter is evil, both the Empress and the bard would be corrupted, which isn't possible. Which means the hunter has to be good. Possibly corrupted, but good. In fact, the hunter is pointing at the plague doctor and the medium, meaning they have to be corrupted. The hunter is guaranteed corrupted. So they're lying, but they are still good. Okay, which means this is the truth. Now, I think we're in a 50... No, we're not in a 50-50. The scout is saying the witch is 2 cards away from the closest evil. Because we only have 2 evils right now, we can functionally say the witch, and if this is true, the witch is 2 cards away from the minion, which means it's there. But... Wait. Nope, never mind. We're in a 50-50. There could be an evil there because the hunter doesn't matter, they're corrupted. So, if the scout is telling the truth, 8 is evil. Or the scout could be lying and just be sitting next to the minion. God, the stream is blurry 80% of the time. Unfortunately, I don't think I can do anything about that. Like, I believe I have my stream settings set to be, like, quality above all. So unfortunately, I cannot help you. So, either 3 or 8 is evil, it's a 50-50. It was 8! Hell yeah, luck. Roommate constantly uses most of your bandwidth. God damn, that sucks. You have too many wives anyway, Mel. Okay, things continue to get more complicated. We now have the Counselor. On game start, one villager becomes an outcast role, so essentially I don't get to see anything. Just there is an extra outcast and one less villager. The Counselor always sits next to an outcast. In fact, they sit next to the one villager that they turned into an outcast. We also have the Doppelganger. The Doppelganger is an outcast who disguises as a good villager currently in play and gives accurate information. Like, if the Doppelganger turns into a hunter, they will give hunter information and it will be correct. Anyway, time to suffer. There are 3 options for outsiders that it could be. There will be 2 outcasts rather. 1 baseline and 1 extra from Counselor. Also there's Bar, so one of these 3 is fake. Anyway. Ooh, the Bard is saying there are no corrupted characters. When we look at this, well, let's bring this one up. So none of these villagers can cause corruption. None of these outcasts can cause corruption. And none of these evils can cause corruption. Which means there are no corruptions. This Bard is telling the truth. We have a Slayer. We have a Medium claiming that 7 is a real Bombardier. We have a Lover claiming one of their adjacents is evil. We have a Gemcrafter claiming that 9 is good. 9 is an Empress claiming among 7, 3 and 4, one of them is evil. We have an Empress. We have a Slayer. You are guaranteed to be an outcast. Now, I say this because we could have a doppelganger. In fact, we do have a doppelganger somewhere. Here's a fun thing. If the doppelganger disguises as a knight, they do not get the knight's invincibility. It's unfortunate. Otherwise, they give correct information. How do I put this one into words? The Bombardier has to be real because we have 1 outcast plus 1 from the Counselor. So there are 2 outcasts in this town. 1 is the Doppelganger. 1 is this Bombardier. I don't believe we can have 2 Doppelgangers. Oh fuck, could we? The Doppelganger could be... there could be 2 Doppelgangers and an evil disguising as a Bombardier. There are no wretches, Mel. The wretch does not disguise, so there's no wretch. The wretch would be the fake outcast added by Bar. In fact, we can say the wretch is the fake added by Bar, which means there is a Bombardier and a Doppelganger. There has to be one of each, so the Bombardier has to be real. I hope. Now, that would mean this medium is real. 1 of 7, 3, and 4 is evil, so this Empress is functionally claiming that 4 is evil. 1 of 1, 7, and 4 is evil, which means you're claiming 4 is evil. As Ginger said, Empresses agree, meaning they're both of the same alignment. Either they are both good and telling the truth, or both evil. Use a Slayer on. Yeah! That's bar, hell yeah, which means you're good. Which means you two are good. Which means you're good. Which means this Slayer is evil. And there's the Doppelganger. Doppelganger was pretending to be an Empress. Fitting. It's the body double. Okay. If we had tried to use this Slayer to kill number 4, they would have just said they failed. And then I would have used this one and then it would have worked and it would have said, you failed. That means you're evil. Fuck. My least favourite character. Yeah, when there's no corruption, thinking does work much more smoothly. Here's my least favourite character. The Drunk. The Drunk disguises as a random not-in-play villager. So the villager that they disguise as will be in this deck, but it won't be a duplicate. They are corrupted, they lie, they cannot be cured. This fucker. This little bastard. This... Oh, I hate the Drunk. They have ruined so many things for me. I have gone through complex deductions, worked out what I think is the way everything is, and then it's the Drunk. The Drunk's fucked everything up. We can kill the Drunk. It takes away from my life, if I do. Oh, I hate this Drunk. And then there's the Druid. Learn 1 random outcast pick 3 characters, learn 1 random outcast among them, if any. Is the Druid... No, I don't think the Druid is the one I'm thinking of. Let's just reveal everyone. Fuck it. Oh no, son. No. The Drunk disguises. Someone here could be a Drunk. Wait, no, you're right. Plague Doctor. Unless an evil is disguised as the Plague Doctor. Oh, fuck. This Confessor could be the Drunk. Or it could be evil. 7's not corrupted. It's the Counselor. That may have been hasty. Well, Ginger, I did as you said. I killed the knight. It was the Drunk. Okay. Now. Did you? Oh, you did, Mel. You did in fact say to kill the knight, yes. Okay. So. We have thankfully gotten rid of the Drunk. There is one other corrupted character, unfortunately. Because of this Plague Doctor. Now, the Drunk is technically a good character. I hate their guts. I wish pain upon them, but they are technically a good character. So number 9, as Ginger said, is good. And as Mel just pointed out, and Sun as well, the Oracle is lying, because neither of them is the Counselor. Could be corrupted. Couldn't kill them. Probably corrupted, but there are 3 evils. So you could be evil as well. Top left is lying. So the Knitter? Evils are not adjacent to each other. Slayer on Slayer? Also couldn't kill them. Now, here's... No, that's fine, Ginger. So... Okay. Now, neither of the Slayers have been able to kill, that is fine, because it can still give information. But... what could be going on here? 1 and 4 could be evil, and 5 corrupted. 5 and 4 could... or 1 and 5 could be evil. And 4 corrupted. If... Okay, hang on. Let's do some thinking. If the Oracle in number 4 is evil, that would mean that this lover who's saying they are not evil is either evil or corrupted. If they're evil, then this Knitter is lying, which means they're corrupted, which means this Slayer should have been able to kill this Oracle. So, the lover cannot be evil with the Oracle. Is the lover corrupted, though? Well, no, because if you're evil and you're corrupted, then you would have successfully killed, unless you're evil. But then the Knitter would be corrupted. Wait. No, yeah. Because both 1 and 8 would have to be corrupted. There can be 2 corrupted people, but one of them was the drunk. So... okay. God, I was just somewhere, but I'm losing it. If the Oracle is evil, but and the lover is good, which means they are corrupted. The Counselor does not corrupt Sun. They only turn someone into an outcast. In this case, they turned someone into a plague doctor. Yeah. Okay, so if the Oracle is evil and the lover is corrupted, this Slayer would have to be evil, which means this Slayer would have worked. Or one of these two. No, that would be the 2 evils that are left, and that Slayer would have worked. So, in any case where this Oracle is evil, it breaks. So the Oracle is good, but lying. Because they're corrupted. Which means you're telling the truth. Okay. Now... well... Here's a bit to chew on, Ginger. Here's a bit of gristle to throw into the works. A wrench to chew on, some gristle to throw in the works. If we could have Slayer 5 and Slayer 1 both be evil. Alternately, we could have Slayer 1 and Slayer 8 be evil. We cannot have 5 and 8 be evil. Because if 5 and 8 were evil, number 1 would have killed number 5. Slayer 8, right, yes. Sorry, Mel. Nisha 8. So, 5 couldn't kill 4 because they were good. Or because 5 is evil. 1 couldn't kill 5 because 1 was evil. Now, if 3 is the colour button I need. So, if it is the Nisha, this is a 50-50 now. Yeah, there are 3 evils this time, unfortunately. So, you're corrupted. But you're also good. That's what the exclamation tells me. Yep, okay. If 8 is evil, they're lying, so there are evils adjacent to each other, and that would be the case. If 5 is evil, there are no evils adjacent to each other, so 8 is telling the truth. This is a true 50-50 situation. I ran out of health. Fuck. Yeah, so I got 2 wrong with the drunk and the Nisha, and I lost all of my health. Unfortunately, I lost the 50-50. Which means we now reset village number 6. We are still at village number 6 though. We've got a new deck, and we're back to full health. We have lost 1 of my 4 hearts. If we are down to 1 heart and lose again, we reset to village number 1. Mel saying save 6 for last. Sure, Mel. There we go. And now we can't reveal 6 because of the witch. It doesn't really matter which I save for last. Let's do a quick check. There is no corruption, but there is a doppelganger. Possibly. 6 could be a bombardier, or there could be a doppelganger somewhere. The knight could be a doppelganger. In which case I would be able to kill them. So... here's what I'm going to do. Druid. What outcast is there among these 3? There's a doppelganger. Hey, Druid. What outcast is there among these 3? None. This is probably the doppelganger. This is probably the doppelganger. Well, unless 7 is evil and 6 is the doppelganger, which this oracle is saying that number 7 is evil. Doppelganger does not lie, no, son. They give accurate information. Okay, here's the thing. These 2 knitters are agreeing with each other. Which means either they are both good, or they are both evil. Well, the knight isn't saying they can't die, son. They're just vibing, and the rule that pops up here is just the rule. Even if they, like, when I hover them, it gives their rule. Even if they are evil, that will say what the rule is. Yeah, so I guess an easier way to see it is if you look at how this lover is saying, they are saying two evils are adjacent to me. When I hover over them, the rule is learn how many evil characters I am adjacent to. Mel has a good point. The Jester on 1, 3, and another space, so long as the Jester is good, even if it's the doppelganger being the Jester, it'll still be good and telling the truth. The Jester will say... Ooh. Okay, you're close on that, Ginger. If... if the knitters are who are telling the truth were both evil, they would both be lying, yes. Which means there would at least be one pair of adjacent evils. We do have 3 evils. So this druid could just be evil, and there's one pair, so that's a lie. Or this oracle could be evil, and that's one pair, so there's the lie. If we can... Now, the lover in that situation could not be evil, because then the lover would be telling the truth. The lover could be evil if both of these two are evil, though. Or good, rather. Now, if 9 was evil, then one of the knitters would be a doppelganger. I mean... would they? Like, if 9 is evil, and none of these 3 are the doppelganger, 5 could be a doppelganger. Mel says 136. 6 is a weird pick because we don't actually know what they are or what they're saying. For all we know, 6 could be a bombardier and there's no doppelganger. No, 6 can't be the bombardier, because then both of these two would be evil. But that's probably possible. Fuck it. Jester is claiming there are 0 evils among these 3. So as long as the Jester is good, the knitters are good. And, if the knitters are evil, then the Jester is evil, which means the knitters are telling the truth, which means they're not evil, which means these 3 are all good. God fucking damn, I hate my life. There's... Brain, the lover is indeed evil. Sun is on point. As is Mel. Okay. You are indeed proven right, Ginger. The only reason I don't highlight that is that I don't understand how you got there. This makes 4 evil? It does indeed. Unfortunately, the last one is the witch, so the witch could be here or anywhere, but I can't reveal this. Also, 6 is clear. Yes, 6 is clear, which means this isn't the witch. Which means one of these 3 is the witch. I really wish I knew what this one was. I wish I knew. Fuck it. I can't kill them. They're good. They're a real knight. Which means you're the witch. Oh. Oh, my poor brain. My poor brain. Oh, fuck. This is the Puka. The Puka is a demon who, at game start, makes the villagers who are adjacent to them corrupted. They lie, they disguise. The reason it says if possible in brackets here is because they may not make anyone corrupted if they're not adjacent to any villagers. If they're sandwiched between other evils or outcasts, then there's no villager for them to target. The Puka is a pain. I don't hate them as much as the drunk, because when I track them down and stab them, it's, yes, I was right, not, fuck, that's the drunk. Yeah, that... No, Ginger. No. There can be 4 corrupted. 2 from the Puka, 1 from the Poisoner, 1 from the Plague Doctor. Thankfully, the Plague Doctor's going to have plenty of targets. Let's reveal everyone. Revealing everyone means I get less score, but I don't really give a damn. Like, whatever. Score is score. Confessor is saying they're dizzy. Either they're evil or corrupted. Alchemist is saying they cured 2 corruptions, which means these 3. Because the Plague Doctor, there's nobody who can make an outcast corrupted. So, among these 3, the Alchemist is saying they cured 2. As Ginger said, don't doubt it. It's likely. Could be a lie, though. Like, this could be the Puka, and they cured nobody. They did the opposite. I'm going to use the Plague Doctor on the Confessor. Number 6 is evil, number 3 is corrupted. There's Puka. So these 2 are lying. They could be evil, but they are lying, no matter what. So that's 3 of the 4 corruption targets out of the way. Oh, but you are not corrupted because of this alchemist. And then... supposedly one of these 2 was also corrupted. Yeah, if the alchemist is a poisoner, or the Empress is the poisoner who poisoned the alchemist. Because if the alchemist is corrupted, their ability doesn't work. So as long as the alchemist is the alchemist and not corrupted, the druid is telling the truth. What does the druid do? The druid selects 3 characters and learns a random outcast. Which, if I do this, yeah, as Ginger said, Plague Doctor on the... Druid the Plague Doctor, rather. Because the Plague Doctor's used up. If I use the Druid on the Plague Doctor, and then it doesn't matter who else I select, there is a Plague Doctor, which means the Druid told the truth, which means they're not corrupted, which means the Alchemist cured them, which means one of these two was corrupted and got cured. Now, here's the fun thing. Could have just been the Plague Doctor that corrupted one of these two. Number 4 could be the poisoner who poisoned the Confessor. Okay. As Sun said, number 3 is in the clear. In fact, I'm going to highlight that by doing this way. So this Confessor is good, just corrupted. Now, this Enlightened cannot be corrupted, that could be evil and lying, as is this Empress. Huh. Do you tell the truth? Yes. You're telling the truth. At least one of 6 and 7 is evil. Which means they're good and not corrupted. One of these two is... so 1 or 2 is evil. Has to be 1. That... Enlightened is telling the truth. Closest evil is counterclockwise. Well, here's the thing. If this Enlightened is evil, then the closest evil is Puka, which is equidistant. Because it's 4 in... Wait, no. It's clockwise. I miscounted. So the closest evil from here, if this is evil, would be Puka, which would be clockwise, which makes this lie viable. If they're good and telling the truth, then the Empress is counterclockwise, and this statement is viable. The Empress saying 8, 9, or 2 is evil. 8, 9, or 2. The Empress is saying that the Enlightened is evil, essentially. It's a 50-50. Down with the monarchy. Nope. The Enlightened was fake. Thankfully, since we did successfully clear this village, my 5 out of 10 health should go back up. Once we're cleared through this, my health should be going back up to 10. Now, these two are actually fun characters. The Baker, on reveal, so when I reveal the Baker, 1 random, unrevealed good villager becomes a Baker. So, if I reveal the Baker first, a random villager who hasn't yet been revealed, or rather, when I reveal the Baker, a random villager who has yet to be revealed becomes a Baker as well. And when that Baker gets revealed, it happens again. This can be hilarious. They also tell us which villager they were. The Architect tells us which side of the circle is more evil. So they can say the left side is more evil, the right side is more evil, or equal, if both sides are evil. Equally evil. More evil. Oh, we completed the Ascension. Excellent. On to Ascension 3. We're starting with 2 evils now. We're starting with some fucked up shit. A drunk and a puka. So there's going to be up to 3 corruptions. Could only be 1 if the puka is sandwiched between the drunk and the witch, or there could be 3. Or 2 if the puka's next to either the witch or drunk. So, as an example, do we actually have... We don't have the one that can say left or right, but if we did, as an example, the left side of the circle would be these 3, 4, 5, and 6. The right side of the circle would be 1, 2, and 3, and 7 is neither, because it is central. So, if, for example, we had an evil at 7, and then an evil at 1, the right side is more evil. If it was 7 and 6, the left side is more evil. If it was 1 and 2, the right side is more evil. If it was 1 and 6, they're equal. Okay. Let's see what fucked up shit we get today. Hell. The Oracle is saying either 5 or 7 is a witch. Now, they're not going to be outing themselves as a witch. So functionally they are claiming that the Jester is a witch. They could be the puka though. They could just be the puka. Like, if they're a puka, then the gem crafter at number 6 or drunk. Yeah, they could be drunk. Fucking drunk, I hate them. I hate their guts. I wish them pain and suffering. If they're the puka, then number 6 could be the witch, or, as everyone said, the Oracle could be the drunk, in which case number 6 is telling the truth. Okay. Hey Judge, is number 5 telling the truth? You're claiming number 5 is lying, huh? They could be. They really could be. Among 1, 4, and 7, 1 is evil. God, I'm going to try and kill the knight. The knight was the puka. Okay. I was taking a gamble on them surviving and not being corrupted, but they were the puka, which means these 2 are corrupted or evil. They will lie no matter what. So the only other liar is the drunk. Jester is clear, yes. Unless they are also evil. Okay, here's some fucked up shit. If the Jester may be lying. Remove, please. So, if the Jester is the witch, then the number they should have said was 2 evil, which makes 1 a lie. Oh, yes, son. Yes. This is a lie no matter what, so this cannot be the witch, which means they cannot be evil. Yes. Yes, son, yes. Okay. This is also true. Because, the Oracle is guaranteed lying. there is only one evil left. So, I mean, you could be the drunk. Oh, well, that's fun, Ginger. Yeah. Hang on one moment, I've got to adjust my blinds. The sun is attacking me. That's not good enough. Here we go. Okay. The sun is a deadly laser. And it has been resolved. Yes. Sun should not be attacking me. I don't have enough of a beard to suit his type. Okay. Okay. If the gem crafter is telling the truth, if they're good, so then they're good. Which means number 3 could be fucking evil. And the hunter telling the truth. Like, this could be the drunk. So, it's entirely possible for this to be evil. And everyone else good. Alternately, what other options are possible? If the hunter is drunk, what can happen there? Well, here's a thought. Can the gem crafter ever be evil? No, because if they're evil, they're good, which means they're telling the truth. So the gem crafter is good, which means you are good, but lying because you're corrupted. Now, the hunter could be could be lying. They could just be evil and lying because the closest evil is then 2 away. They could be not drunk, and number 3 could be evil. And number 5 could be the drunk, who is good and telling a lie. I think we're in a 50-50. It's either 2 or 3. What do we say, folks? Mel wants us to kill 3 who hasn't been revealed. Ginger wants to kill 3. Alright. Number 3 was the drunk. Everyone... Honestly? Hell yeah. Hell yeah. What were they going to claim to be? If I hover over this mask, they were going to claim to be a scout. Honestly, fuck yeah. I'm going to... Look, functionally, we made the wrong choice by choosing 3 before 2. I'm going to say we made the right choice there. It was unanimous as well. Everyone wanted that. Oh, that's fucking hilarious. We now have the shaman and the bishop available. The shaman. There are 2 there were 2 same villager roles in the current village. Worded a little bit weirdly, essentially, as far as I understand it, 2 of the villagers will have the same role. So guaranteed. And the bishop learn up to 3 characters. Among them are 1 villager, 1 outcast, and 1 evil, if possible. Also worded a little weirdly, but intentionally so, to account for the weird edge cases where, like, there's no outcast somehow. Yeah, the bishop is very much a mood. Bishop is very much a mood. Ginger is now the wretched bishop. We could have both in this round. We've got no witch, so we can reveal everyone. We do have a wretch and a bishop. Okay, so this bishop is saying among 1, 2, and 4, there is a minion, villager, and outcast. That's a fucking lie. They could be corrupted though, because we've got Puka. Puka ruining everything. So, they could be lying, they could be, or they are lying. They could be evil, or they could just be corrupted. Let's do a night check. Fuck. That's Puka. Well, we at least learned. So you're lying. There is no pair of evil. Ah, here we go. Here's something. We know the Nisha is good. Good, but lying because corrupted. Because if they were evil, when bishops lie, all numbers in their tell are villagers. Oh. Okay, that's a piece of information I didn't know. Also, welcome, Luchocas. Luchocas? Luchocas. Yeah, that's a mechanic that is very useful to know. Also note, killing the knight took me to 1 health. Yeah, kinda sucks. It says if you mouse to the card. Hang on. Oh my god. I have never done this before. Like, I've never seen this. I've made it to Ascension 17 before I reset today. I've never done this before. Let's just have a quick check. If they lie, both characters in their info are good. Oh my god, this is so much value. Nothing special, nothing special, nothing special. If I am executed while corrupted, I deal 4 additional damage to you. Nothing special. Cannot register as good or as a wretch to other characters. Register as a random minion, role, or as an evil. Cannot be disguised as. Oh, that one's useful to learn as well. These extra bits of information are extremely valuable. Okay. Luchocas, you may now be the most valuable person today. Just from that information alone. It's a close fight with Ginger, who has solved most of the problems. But that information is extremely valuable. So these 2 must be good, or these 3 must be good, but the Nisha is corrupted because of the Puka. Now, Nisha doesn't have anything special if they're lying, but their lie is essentially just there's no pair now. So we know there is no pair. You were saying number 8 is good. Okay. Number 1 or 7 is a shaman. 1 or 7. There we go. I mean, if we'd looked at all the information, we would have known that as well, because I caught a glance there. They were saying that they were 2 spaces away from a corrupted character, and they were not. Here's a fun one. The Puppeteer. The Puppeteer is a minion. They make a random adjacent villager become a puppet, if possible. The puppet is evil, but does not lie. In fact, it says cannot lie. I wonder, hang on. It doesn't give us extra information. Here's a thought. This says cannot lie. I always thought it said does not lie, but it says cannot. Which means if the puppet becomes corrupted, they still can't lie? Has a 5-star rating from the demon. That's not a good thing. The scout asked for a promotion, got a new cloak and no abilities. Became the wretch, I think they're saying. Yeah, so I think... yeah, I think the puppet may override corruption, which would be cool. Anyway, we've got no witch, so we can reveal everyone. I don't care about score, so I am going to. Oh hey, I am the original baker. There's another baker. But... there are 4 evils, Ginger, yes. You are indeed correct, which means the puppeteer has worked. Now, we have 1 outcast baseline, 1 extra from Counsellor. Seemingly, we have a Wretch and Bombardier. One of these 2 could be evil and there could be a drunk somewhere. I think the Wretch is real. The puppet cannot be corrupted since they're evil. Ah. Right, because we don't have the whole list right now, but oh, there's drawing mode. Right, because things do say good villager. Right. Right, things that apply corruption say good villager. Right, okay. Okay. That's a very good point. Mel has a point. Wretch is always a wretch, cannot be disguised as. That is a point to Mel. Nobody's tracking the points, but you get a point. You did a clever. Now, you're saying you're the original baker. We then revealed this one, who is saying you were a bishop. That should have... I say that I was a random villager role. Okay. Revealing that should have turned this bard into a baker. If the bard was a good character. And their ability worked. Now, if 4 and 5 are accusing each other, bard is counsellor, you bet. Okay, let's put this baker nonsense to the side. 4 and 5 are accusing each other. 5's sort of just saying that the closest evil is in one of these 4 spaces. 4 is saying 6, 3, and 5. Kinda hard to point at any one of them right now. This bard is saying they're 3 spaces away from a corrupted character. 1, 2, 3. Well, I can just hover. So the bard, if the bard is real, they would be pointing at the drunk. If the bard is real, they would be pointing at the drunk, which would imply the bombardier is fake. But if the bard is real, both of these bakers are fake. Oh. Oh my. Oh my. Well, since you're the puppet, you have to be adjacent to the puppeteer, which means that's there. But that means one of these two is corrupted. Meaning one of those two is the drunk. So the bombardier is fake. Okay. Sun says the enlightened is evil. So. If the enlightened is telling the truth. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So these two would make it equidistant, which would mean if the enlightened is telling the truth, then one of these two is evil. 7 is counselor? Not certain yet, Mel. 4 could be counselor and 3 the drunk. Six has to be the original baker. Yeah, because if they were corrupt, and they can't be, yeah, because they can't be the drunk, because if they were, they'd be giving a lie of a random villager role. And then you would also be giving, well, fuck it. Fuck it, we ball. Okay. I could have seen it be either 4 counselor or 7 counselor. Yeah, I could have seen it, but like if this one was real, and no, but then that would have been a lie. Right? Yeah, okay. Okay. I was wrong thinking, oh, favourite. Here we go, one of the best characters, the Dreamer. Hopefully I will get to show you why the Dreamer is my favourite character. They're just hilarious for one specific reason. The Dreamer picks one character and gives an evil role. If I picked an evil character, they learn they give me the correct information. So, in this round, for example, we've got the Counselor, we've got the Puka. If we use the Dreamer, because Cabbage, yes, because Cabbage. If we use the Dreamer, and I select 7, they will either say 7 could be Counselor, or 7 could be Puka. Right? Yeah, it's just an evil role, not a minion or demon. It's either one. So, if a Dreamer targeted 7, they could say, number 7 could be a Counselor, or they could say number 7 could be a Puka. If... yeah, Puka and drunk. Almost the worst situation. If I were to select the counsellor, if number 7 was the counsellor, and a dreamer targeted 7, it would guaranteed say number 7 could be the counsellor. If number 7 was Puka, it would guaranteed say Puka. If number 7 was anything that isn't like any good roll, the dreamer would say either one. They'd select one at random. Mouse 2 on dreamer real quick. Oh, that's a good idea. Dreamer. Oh, there's the information. There's why I love them. If not lying, Wretch looks like a cabbage to me. Still can't unsee that last dream. Once dreamed the Wretch was a cabbage. Yeah. So if they're not lying, the Wretch looks like a cabbage. And that's literal. If you use the Dreamer on the Wretch... yeah. If you use the Dreamer on the Wretch and they are telling the truth, they will say that they could be a cabbage. Guarantees that dream is telling the truth, and it's fucking hilarious. It could be a cabbage. Let's see what everyone's got. Alchemist is claiming they cured one corruption, which would imply one of these two is the Puka, if the Alchemist is telling the truth. Real quick. Knight didn't die, they're real. Which means you're not the Puka at least. Let's see. Wait. No, one of these 4 would be the Puka, if the Alchemist is real. Bishop is telling the truth. The bishops are saying the same thing. 1, 8, and 9. So 8 is the villager. And then among 1 and 9, there is an evil and an outcast. Oh yeah, Gemcrafter is good, yes. And telling the truth, they're not corrupted. Which means you're not the Puka, at least. Now, if the bishops are telling the truth, the Alchemist and the Slayer here, number 1 and number 9, would have 1 outcast and 1 evil. Judge the Alchemist. We'll get to that. Oh, this Gemcrafter is also saying the truth. So... okay. Mouse 2 on Slayer. If lying, so either evil or corrupted, cannot kill target. Okay, now... Judge the Bishop. I mean... honestly, might not be a bad choice. Anything special on the Alchemist lying? No. You're thinking both the bishops and the judge are lying? Possibly. Possibly. 2 evils and the drunk there. Yep. Oh. Yeah, I probably should have expected one of them to be the drunk. I'm happy with killing the drunk, though. Why, you ask, Mel? Well, because... Councillor said... or the judge said that this bishop was telling the truth. Slayer killed the counselor, which means that's a lie, so these two are telling lies. So one of them's the drunk and one's the puka. I've got no clue which. If this was the puka, the knight was corrupted that the alchemist then cured. Or the puka was here and corrupted this gem crafter that the alchemist then cured. It was 50-50. I lose no sleep over the drunk. We have now unlocked the Witness. Learn a character that was affected by an evil ability. Hopefully we'll have one, because it's easier to explain that one if it's actually on the field. The fuck is this? Mouse 2 on the Witness? Sure. We don't have one. Yeah, so Wretch is always Wretch. We only have 2 outcasts. One of these Plague Doctors is a fake. Fucking fake. Okay. That's understandable, Ginger. We are getting into the stage where it's throwing a lot of corruption and confusion at us. What does Bird Boy do again? So the Bird Boy, the Plague Doctor, makes one good villager corrupted. And on activation, if I choose a corrupted character, they tell me someone who is evil. Otherwise, they say the chosen target is not corrupted. One of the Plague Doctors is confirmed the Poisoner. Can Bar not be a... Can Bar not be one of the Plague Doctors? Let's see. First thing you tried to start typing was that the Plague Doctor was fake. Yeah. God, brain slow down. This does happen, Ginger. Demons can't disguise as outcasts. Okay, that's a very useful thing to know. Which means one of these two is guaranteed to be corrupted. It says if you hover on the demon tag. Character type, usually evil, what the fuck? Always disguises as a unique villager. Cannot double claim a good character. I wish I'd looked at these earlier. Character type, usually evil, has a 60% chance to disguise as a copy of a random villager or outcast in town. Okay. Wish I'd used that sooner. Okay, so one of the Plague Doctors is actually a Poisoner. Yeah, Luchocus is carrying right now. One of the Plague Doctors is actually a Poisoner, so either 2 or 8 is poisoned, corrupted. Okay, and there are no duplicates in town, so there's nobody that we can rule out from being Bar. Don't worry, son. I'm feeling the same. My brain is dying. Brain die. So. Ginger is making calls. 4 is Bar, 2 is Corrupt, 1 is the Poisoner. Oh. Well, hello. You are saying... Yeah, okay. Well, that didn't work. Yeah, should've known. 7 was Bar, 9 was Poisoner, 8 was Corrupted. I mean, the moment 4 wasn't evil, I probably should have gone for 9 instead of 1. I'm kind of playing it fast and loose here. We've got a Plague Doctor, we've got Puka. Huh. My measurement includes the 2 characters at the exact midpoints of the circle as well. Yeah, cool. That's what I expected. Tells you distance from one random evil to its nearest evil. Nothing special with you. Claims she's the smarter twin. The other says the same. Posture check. Up straight. Knees at a 90 degree. Okay, we've got a witch. That's going to suck. Mel wants us to leave too. So, there we go. Number 2. We've got 2 knights in play. Neither of them can be Puka, at least. We've got 3 knights in play. What the fuck? Hang on. We've got 3 knights in play. None of them can be Puka. They could be minions. Kill them? Here's the problem, Mel. There are 3 corrupted characters, potentially, right now. Up to 2 from the Puka and 1 from the Plague Doctor. So there's either... Well, there's up to 3. Puka could be sandwiched between non-villagers. All 3 could be evil. Could they? Yeah. Yeah, because if all 3 are evil, then none of them are duplicating a townsfolk, so the Puka could do that. So that would be a very ballsy use of the Plague Doctor, Mel. Now, Ginger is saying that if 6 dies, 7 and 5 are evil. We'll see how that works out. The scout is saying the twin minion is 2 cards away from the closest evil. If one of these 2 is the twin minion, the other is the witch, or could be the witch, and then this could be Puka. Plague Doctor 6. You've got a very strong focus on 6. I mean... Look, starting to stab knights is risky. They do 9 damage. It's big risk. Let's see what info we can get. Bishop. Between 3, 2, and 5, there is a minion, villager, and outcast. That doesn't really help. Fuck it. Okay. These 2 are corrupted, or evil. Now here's a thing. if... What's 2? Let's find out. It's the fortune teller. Bishop is lying. Yes. So all the villagers. Wait. Yes. These ones. You're still corrupted though. And we can do this. Doesn't really help. 4 is evil, 7 is corrupted. I already stabbed them, Plague Doctor. Let's see. You are claiming that the twin minion is 2 cards away from the closest evil. So the scout is claiming... Oh, yes. Luchocus has a point. The knight is guaranteed fake. Boom. And you're corrupted by the Plague Doctor. I would absolutely have fucked up and shot the... or stabbed the one that was in the top right there. The Poet. Learn random info. They just select a random character. I wish I'd done this before. Yep, there we go. We don't get tips for them. They will give info as if they were a random other character. Yeah. She told the Slayer truth is a shadow. He nodded, like that meant something. No witch, we can reveal everything. Ah. Okay. Original Baker, claiming they were a gem crafter. So, it's possible. You were claiming 6 is good. Ah. You did say to start stabbing knights. Yes, Mel. Yeah, we appreciate you here, Luchocus. We appreciate smart people. I am not one. I am not a smart person. Right, there is a paint mode. I can do things like this. I can just paint on the screen. So you're saying you went to there? The actual painting is a little bit off from where the marker is. What? Yeah, Ginger, yeah. We appreciate killing the drunks most. So I can actually make use of the paint mode to do weird, stupid things. This. You're claiming these 2 are evil, you're claiming that one. Or you led to that one, I guess? Can I... okay, let's do this in yellow. Because it's not claiming good or evil. These in red. You are claiming 5 is a real poet, so you're claiming they're good. No, Mel. No. You're claiming they're evil. Well, one of them is evil. You're doing the same. You're claiming they're good. This is becoming a mess. Okay. Real quick. This bombardier is real. Because I don't... Hang on. I'm pretty sure this bombardier is real. Because if they're not, then we got a doppelganger and the councillor made a doppelganger. Mel is claiming the medium is the councillor. That is highly likely. But what if this enlightened is Puka and this poet is corrupted? then this medium is telling the truth. God, the draw function has turned this screen into such a mess. You're claiming number 6 is good. You're functionally claiming that you're good. That's all good, son. It was something I'd considered before, but like, I don't like pinging people in Discord. Poet could be puppeteer and the enlightened their puppet. That would then mean that the gem crafter has to be lying? Because the gem crafter should recognize that the puppet is evil. Currently, I believe the poet is lying. Because getting the baker set up like this is unlikely if they're both evil. The first time you reveal a baker, if they are evil, they will just say a random roll. So they will say, I was a gem crafter, or I was... If they're the first baker you reveal, I can't remember if they say, I am the original baker, if they randomly select baker, or if they would say, I was a baker. Anyway, I'm pretty sure this one's real. Could they... wait. Or maybe Poet is Puppeteer and Baker 2 is Puppet. No, Mel. Puppet has to be adjacent to the Puppeteer. Fuck it, we ball. Which means... Okay, why weren't you lying, Hunter? Why were you not lying? You are one away from the closest evil. Doppelganger, right. Yes, okay. That's a good point. Okay. Yeah, so that's the doppelganger friend. Now you physically cannot be evil. Because if you were, this puppeteer would have been telling the truth. Oh yeah, they're lying. You got that, Nell. My own brain is shutting down. Oh, it's Lilith. Okay. Lilith is a demon who adds some complexity to things. At night, night happens every 4th card I reveal. At night, kill a random unrevealed character, deal 2 damage to me. She lies, she disguises. So, she will prioritize killing good characters first, and will not kill herself when she is the only card left. So so we've got this counter here now. This only shows up when Lilith is in play. So if I do 3, we have not yet activated night until we reveal a 4th. Art skins, Lilith. Oh. Huh? Okay, we apparently haven't revealed what, or haven't unlocked whatever that skin is. Okay, let's see what we can work out from the information we've got. Now, let's start with this. Night is real. If they were corrupted, then that would have been guaranteed the poisoner. Almost guaranteed, I guess. Complete 10 endless games in a row to unlock the Lilith skin. Cool. Night chest. We can see what's on your mind, Mel. So night is real. You are saying among 9, 4, and 8. You're lying. Right? Okay. 9 died. I can also do this. There's nobody unrevealed now, so I still take 2 damage, but it doesn't kill anyone because there's nobody unrevealed. And the thing killed by Lilith I cannot reveal. Okay. You're telling the truth. Oops, wrong button. Okay. You're lying. I was an architect. There's been no prior baker. So that's a lie. Night is a ginger. Yeah, sort of. It's sort of pink. That hair is kind of pink. Okay. So, either this baker is evil, or this architect is the poisoner. Okay. Let's see. This bishop is claiming that among 9, 8, and 4, there is 1 outcast and 1 evil, which cannot be true. Also, fuck. This sucks. One of these 2 is a minion. This cannot be true. Mel wants to kill 8. Okay. They were real, Mel. We did have enough health to survive a hit, though, so it's fine. Bishop could be true if both Bombardiers are fake and 9 was a Bombardier. So 9, 4, and 8. Okay. Yeah? Like, it would now be a state where these 3 are all minions? If that was a Bombardier. Which is possible if this is the puppeteer, and that's a puppet. It's technically possible. So, they were real, and they weren't corrupted, which means the left side is more evil. Fuck do you mean that's on the left? No, that's not on the left. That's in the middle. But the thing does say they include the 2 characters at the exact midpoints. It's on both the left and the right. Cool. That's functionally the same as the middle, but it means they could be there. So. Now, Lilith prefers to kill... Yeah, she prioritizes killing good characters. So this should have been a good character. Because there's no way, like, well, this one's guaranteed good, and then I revealed these 3. So there's no way that she killed an evil. So this one's guaranteed good, which means there has to be 3 evils on this side? Jesus. No, you had it right, Ginger. 5, 6, 7 were all evil. Okay. Now, this Empress is saying 1 among 1, 9, and 8 is evil. That's a lie. So you're the poisoner and you're evil? Or you're evil and you're the poisoner? Oh, it's... yeah, yeah, the puppets. And they tell the truth, so that's all good. Okay, we are in a 50-50. Lying Bishop is telling you 4 is... Oh! Yeah, because everyone they point at is a villager when they lie. And no matter what they are lying, either they are evil or they're corrupted, right? So they are lying, which means they are saying the Empress is a villager, which means this bishop is evil. Luchocus to the rescue! I hope I'm pronouncing your name at least somewhat correctly. Oh, hell yeah. That's Ascension 4 completed. Nope, 3 completed. I'm now on Ascension 4. Now, real quick. Where is it? Dreamer. Wretch. Number 3 could be a cabbage. Let's go back to the menu. So, we do have this. Okay, save 10 villages in a row in endless mode. That's the Lilith skin. This one, pick exactly 2 evil characters with a non-lying fortune teller. That's a new fortune teller skin, I guess. Okay. Let's try an endless run. Increase difficulty, every village is randomized. Actually, hang on. Have we unlocked everything? You say coming soon, so I believe we have now unlocked everything. At least in the villages. Coming soon? Coming soon. Okay. I believe we have unlocked everything. Needs a cabbage skin for the wretch. Hell yes. Okay. Let's go for an endless run. I've never actually done this before, but that's because I always just played standard and kept getting higher and higher in Ascension. Every village is randomized, more challenging characters and scenarios. We are starting with 2 evils. There is Bar, so one of these 3 outcasts isn't real. There could be a doppelganger wretch plague doctor. There will only be 1 outcast in play. Ooh. Ginger has redeemed hydrate. I hydrate. I'm almost out of water. So. Well, I'm not saying that they're fake, Mel. I'm saying Bar could be adding them into this list when they're not actually possibly on the board. So. No. There's no need to get more water when we're 15 minutes out from end stream. Ginger has redeemed herself. No, Ginger, no. You are irredeemable. So, Endless has +2 fake villagers and +1 fake outcast in the deck. So evils have more leeway to disguise. That's the increased difficulty. Huh. Okay. So, let's have a look. I mean, that doesn't make a huge difference when I'm too stupid to take advantage of the deck. So, I guess my own idiocy protects me from the disadvantage of endless mode. So, there's no corruption. The night is real. There's no corruption. The alchemist is lying. There's no corruption. The baker is lying. There could be corruption if we have a plague doctor on the field. We have a witch. Rude. Oh hey, this is the first time we see the witness in action. Number 3 was affected by an evil. So they're claiming... Neither of these evils affect people. So, that's a lie. Also, unfortunately, one of these 2 bombardiers is evil. You're saying 7 is a real dreamer. Well, one of these 2 is the second evil, so that's guaranteed to be true. One of 1, 5, or 7 is evil. We already know 1 or 5 is evil. Can you... 5 is saying the truth. They're not saying anything. Ginger says kill 1. Here's a thought. Now, if I get this wrong, I lose no matter what, because if you execute the bombardier, you lose. So, here's a question. Hell yeah. Killing the person that the witch is preventing us from revealing still reveals them and lets me use their ability. So, we killed someone that we knew was innocent, but it let me activate the dreamer ability on the witch. Now, if it had said... Five was telling the truth, which means 5 is good. That is a good point. I didn't even consider that because they weren't saying anything, so I'm like, well, that doesn't mean anything. But evil always lies. I'm fucking stupid. Oh, hey. Puka Poisoner. Fun. At least there's no drunk. Okay. Confessor says they're dizzy. Alchemist says they cured 2 corruptions. If this is true, the Confessor is evil. You're claiming either 4 or 5 is the poisoner. Okay. If the alchemist is telling the truth, the Confessor is evil, which would have meant both of these two were corrupted, which isn't possible. So the alchemist is lying. I'm just going to mark that as guaranteed lying. So, night check. Night is real, which means that's not the puka. Bombardier cannot be puka, Ginger. Because demons always disguise as a unique villager. And bombardiers are outcasts, not villagers. Then... Now these two are backing each other up by saying... Hang on. You're backing each other up by saying 5 is a poisoner, but you are 5. Luchocus says you think the poet as bishop is lying, but since they are targeting themselves, then they must be a villager who is corrupted. Huh. That's a good point. They're guaranteed a villager. They could well be lying. They could be telling the truth. If this is an outcast and this is an evil, they could be telling the truth. What does Poison Senpai do? The Poisoner makes one adjacent villager corrupted. Which would mean if you were... Well, here's the thing. You can't be the Poisoner. Because if you were, you'd be saying that you were the Poisoner, which would be a truth, which breaks. So you can't be the Poisoner. So, you are claiming that 7 is the Poisoner. So you're claiming they are the Poisoner. I need to draw. So you're claiming they are the Poisoner. And you can't be corrupted. Because these two are both villagers. Could they be Puka, though? No. Because, well, hang on. Yes. Right, the alchemist is lying, so the knight would have died, which means, right, okay, so you cannot be either Puka or Poisoner, so you're telling the truth. Wait, why can't they be the Poisoner? Wait, why did I say they can't be the Poisoner? Because of their info, right, yes. So they are telling the truth, which means that is the Poisoner. And they poisoned the alchemist. Okay. Now, the Confessor, I think, is just Puka. No, they were corrupted, which means they're also corrupted and this is Puka. Oh boy, we've got a drunk and a plague doctor. Possibly. Possibly. There's a plague doctor. We've got a drunk or a plague doctor. Saying you're dizzy. You're claiming they're evil and they're corrupted, huh? You lied. Which means there's a drunk somewhere. I probably should have done some actual thinking rather than just stabbing there. Okay, so number 6 is a real knitter. Number 1 is good, that's a lie. Which means number 7 is not corrupted, but are evil. Yes. Because they were saying they are corrupted, which is a lie, so they're not corrupted, which means they are evil. Okay, you're lying, you could be corrupted, and drunk. You're telling the truth. Evils are not adjacent to each other, so you are not evil. You're claiming 5 is good. You could be the drunk and that one evil. Let's see. You're claiming there are no outcasts? You're claiming there are no outcasts. So you're backing each other up. Oh yeah. Got Puka again. Alchemist is claiming they cleared 0 corruptions. Okay, based on what these two are saying, if it's true, Puka and the Witch are adjacent to each other. Of course, it could be, for example, this one is Puka, this one is... this one's the Witch, and you're corrupted. Then you wouldn't be corrupted, so you... Puka, Witch. Yeah, that would work. Okay. 2 or 8 is the Witch. Feck, which means you're lying. Which means I'm getting kind of fast and loose with it here. We are close to ending time for the stream, and also my brain is dying. Okay, I think I accidentally just clicked you. There we go. Unselect. Cancel just in case. Well, you're guaranteed good. Ah. No, Mel. Hang on, cancel. Because these two are saying the same thing. These two are saying that the Puka and Witch are adjacent to each other. This one's true, so this is guaranteed true. So that scout is true. And then you're claiming 2 or 8 is the Witch. You're claiming 5 is evil. Now, if Puka is there, then the judge could be poisoned, or corrupted rather. 5 and 4 is also impossible, Mel, because if they were, then this would be telling the truth. 7 and 8 may be possible. This cannot be Puka. Would be telling the truth, though. I'm telling a lie or a truth, if they are the witch. Fuck it, are you the witch? You were the witch. And then, that means this was the truth. Now, for you to be telling the truth, that would be evil. You were saying, you were telling a lie, which means I think this is Puka. Yes. Okay. This doesn't really help. Ouchie. Okay. Oh. I really hope that wasn't a plague doctor. Because... I mean, theoretically, 6 could be telling the truth, right? No, never mind, there are 3 evils this time. They are telling a lie. These 2 are also contradicting each other. Now, you could be corrupted, though. If this was a plague doctor, you could be corrupted. Damn it, Lilith. Damn you, Lilith. Fuck it. Hell yes. Okay, yeah, fine. That's fine. So that's truthful. That was a lie. You could be corrupted or evil. You're claiming they are evil. Well, there's no outcast that disguises themselves, so you I can test easily. There's a drunk. You're lying. You're evil. Which means you were telling the truth. If that medium is evil, then you're telling the truth. And you 2 are backing each other up, so you cannot be... Well, one could be evil and one... Well, no. If one of you is evil and the other is corrupted, then you're just lying for no reason, so it's... These 2 are guaranteed good. Which means you're telling the truth. Which means you're evil? Oh, it's another Lilith one. Fuck it. Hit me. Now, Lilith is going to get rid of 2 characters. Unless I can find Lilith and kill her with the information we have right now. So, Bishop is saying 7, 10, and 9 have an outcast, minion, and villager. 7, 10, and... Well, that doesn't help. These 2 are contradicting each other. Number 3 is a real fortune teller. One of 5, 10, and 3 is evil. Well, 10 is guaranteed not evil, right? Because Lilith killed them right away. No, son. Lilith does 2 damage to me regardless of who she kills. I take damage from executing the wrong person. So, like, no matter who she kills, like, it would be especially unfair if, like, for example, if a corrupted knight is executed, I take an extra, like, 5, so I take 9 damage. If her attacks counted as executions, it would effectively insta-kill you, which would be real rude. Yeah, the niches are contradicting each other. One of them is lying. God. My brain is shutting down. You're claiming one of 3, 5, and 10 is evil. Well, you're claiming only one is evil. Which means you're saying we can't have both of these two be evil. Wait. No, never mind. We can't have both of these two be evil. Which means they're both good? Which means you're lying? Yeah, we definitely want to use the fortune teller. One of these two is evil. Fuck it. There's the shaman. There's the drunk. I mean, they were both lying, though. Okay. Which means, if you're telling the truth, there's an evil here. I mean, you told the truth, which means you told the truth. There's... If you are evil... Okay. For you to have told the truth... that's fine. I probably shouldn't have done that, but oh well. You're now backing up you. That guarantees you two. Which means you have to be evil. Drunk can't just... Right, the drunk can't disguise as a duplicate. Right. Okay. We are on village 8. Let's see if we can get to 10. Well, you're lying. If there's a plague doctor, there can be a source of corruption. Counselor is 4 away from the closest evil, which would be 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, it's technically possible for this to be true. Unlikely, but technically possible. I think I have to take a hit from Lilith. And then we reveal another 3. There cannot be 2 corrupted, so that's a lie. You're saying you're 2 away from a corrupted character. Which would be one of those 2. Yeah, there's no real penalty for letting Lilith make her second kill. Like, I can only survive 1 wrong guess either way. Fuck it. Okay. Okay. You? Wish I'd done that before. Could have learned what you were, at least. You could be corrupted. Or there could be a doppelganger somewhere. Yeah, lines up. One of these two would be... Like, that could have been the Plague Doctor, that could have been... that could be the doppelganger. Okay, let's... Yeah, Poet Doppel is... Yes, that is true, son. 2 cards away from a corrupted character would imply that they're corrupted, but they're not, and they're also not corrupted, so you're lying. You're lying, but are you evil? 1, 2, 3, 4. If you're... You're claiming you're the witch. Fuck it. Flea ball. Oh boy. Much corruption. Oh hey, you're claiming you're good. That means you're good. You're lying. Take the first Lilith hit. And no penalty except some health for the second Lilith hit. Okay. 1, 5, or 7, you're saying. If you're lying, all are good. Which means, no matter what, you're good. Too many outcasts, so 6 is evil. Huh? I mean, they could be the only outcast, right? Drunk and Doppelganger could just be fakes. Mel is claiming number 2 is the poisoner, but I have no clue how that's the case. It's just, you are claiming they are evil. That's also a lie. The puppet can never be 3 away from the closest evil. They have to be adjacent to the closest evil. The deck view only shows 2 outcasts, a normal for the round, +1 fake for endless mode. Since the deck shows 3, that means an evil is disguising as an outcast. Oh. Oh. Okay. Well, if you were the puppet, you would have to say the truth. So that means you're the puppet. And you lied. Wait, no, you tell the truth. You tell the truth, which means you're evil. What? No, you were the one that was evil. I'm a fucking idiot. I'm an idiot. Why am I so stupid? There's still Lilith and the poisoner left. Now, you're also lying. Mel is insistent that the Nisha is the poisoner. and refuses to explain. But if the knitter is the poisoner, then that means this enlightened is Lilith. And this baker is just lying for no reason. Because this baker would have been poisoned and done nothing. So the knitter is not the poisoner. Oh, you did explain. Reason. Baker is poisoned. Baker number 4 exists because of... Baker number 4 would not exist if Baker number 3 was poisoned. And both of them are real. Like, 3, 4... Oh, yep, that's also a lie. That's a good catch. Like, if they get poisoned, they lie and their ability doesn't work. So if they were poisoned, they wouldn't make a second baker. So these 3 are all lying. Wait. This is the corrupted one from the poisoner. One of these fuckers is the drunk! And here's the thing. If you were lying... or if you were if you... Can you be lying? One of you two is evil, one of you is drunk, there's no poison remaining. Or there's no corruption remaining. So you're telling the truth, which means you can't be evil, which means you too are evil. Yes! We've made it to Village 10. If we can clear this, we unlock the Lilith skin. You're immediately lying, you're drunk, or poisoned. Well, no. You're corrupted or evil. We're going to have to take a Lilith hit. You're claiming you're the original baker? I believe it. In fact... Fuck you. Okay. Counselor does create an extra outcast. So, having 3 outcasts is the correct number. Okay. And then... So number 2 is saying that there is a minion, outcast, and villager among 1, 6, and 8. Well, they would have been good. Lilith wouldn't have killed them if they weren't good. They could be an outcast, I guess. There's 1 evil there. So then you could also be an outcast or good. Or villager, rather. But regardless, you are telling the truth. So either 6 was an outcast or 8 is a drunk. In either case, the outcast is over here, so we need to kill... that's a good point, Luchocus. Let's watch this number. It went up to 2, so that was in fact the counselor. Lilith will never kill Lilith, so that was in fact the counselor. Which means you are in fact the drunk. And... hell yes! We done it! We've done it! Hell yes. We now have both Lilith skins. I'm actually going to keep this one. Like, this is cute and all, but this fits the style of the rest. Hell yes. Big claps. And that's where we're going to wrap up, because we have already gone 20 minutes overtime on the stream. So, if you have enjoyed, I have a Discord. This is where I make my announcements when I'm going live, what I'm planning to play, or if something is going to keep me from going live. I also have a YouTube channel. This is where all of my VODs go. Twitch keeps them for 2 weeks. After that, they are only available on YouTube. I'm going to have a quick look at whether anyone else is playing Demon Bluff. No. Okay. No raid then, because I would have raided if someone was playing it, but no. So we're going to call it here. Thank you very much for being with me today. Have a good one.